Right now, without even thinking about it, you're seconds away from taking a sip of something. Water, coffee, it doesn't matter. Your body trusts it completely. No hesitation, no fear.
I mean, why would I be scared of a glass of water?
Because for almost all of human history, that same trust would have made you sick, or worse.
Worse? From water?
Rivers, wells, shared canals, they were crawling with bacteria nobody had a name for yet. No microscopes, no germ theory, just people getting mysteriously ill and not knowing why.
So what did they drink instead, if not water?
Something that was, almost without exception, a little bit alcoholic.
Wait, like all the time?
All day, every day. Farmers, laborers, children, priests, pharaohs. Picture an entire ancient city moving through its morning, and almost nobody in it is fully sober.
That cannot be real.
It's real, and it wasn't about getting drunk for fun. It was about staying alive long enough to build the first cities on Earth.
Okay, now I need to know how that actually works.
Then let's start with your own body, because the answer is already sitting inside you.
Wait, what do you mean inside me?
Somewhere around 10 million years ago, long before humans existed, a single genetic mutation appeared in the ancestors we share with gorillas and chimpanzees.
10 million years? That's ape territory, not human territory.
Exactly. The mutation changed an enzyme called ADH4, and it made those early apes roughly 40 times better at breaking down alcohol.
40 times better? Why would evolution even care about that?
Because fruit falls from trees, sits on the forest floor, and starts to ferment within days. The apes who could eat that fermented fruit without getting poisoned suddenly had access to food nobody else could touch.
So being able to handle a little alcohol was basically a survival skill.
A survival skill so old it predates the human species itself. It's sitting in your liver right now, working while you listen to me say this.
That is deeply unsettling to think about.
It gets more personal from there, because it means the story of ancient drinking isn't really about parties at all.
Wait, I definitely pictured parties, feast, wine gods, big toga energy.
Wrong picture, and it's the one almost everyone starts with. For most of the ancient world, alcohol wasn't the celebration, it was the water bill.
Wait, so it was just a normal Tuesday?
A normal Tuesday, every single day for thousands of years. A weak beer or thin wine, something around 1 or 2% alcohol, was safer to hand a child than the well down the street.
Safer than water. I still can't get over that.
Here's why it worked. Fermentation isn't gentle. It's a tiny chemical war. Yeast moves into a liquid, devours the sugar, and leaves behind alcohol and acid as its waste.
Okay, that sounds less like brewing and more like a crime scene.
In a way, it is one, and that's exactly the point. That waste kills off the same bacteria that make river water dangerous, so a mug of weak beer had already survived a process plain water never went through.
So it's basically ancient water filtration with a buzz attached.
Filtration you could taste, packed with calories and B vitamins, strong enough to make back-breaking labor feel a little more bearable, and gentle enough that you could drink it from sunrise to sunset.
Okay, I think I get the logic now. But show me proof. Actual proof this happened.
The oldest clue is sitting in the hills of southeastern Turkey at a site called Göbekli Tepe.
I've heard that name. Some kind of ancient temple.
11,600 years old, built before farming even existed in that region. And inside it, archaeologists found massive carved stone vats coated in residue chemically consistent with fermented grain mash.
Wait, they were brewing before they were farming?
That's the theory, turning the old story upside down. People may not have settled into permanent villages just to grow wheat for bread.
Then why?
They may have settled down to grow it for beer first, and bread came along for the ride.
That is not the origin story I was expecting for civilization.
It only gets stranger from here, and it doesn't stay in one place. Halfway across the world in China, at a site called Jiahu, an archaeologist named Patrick McGovern examined pottery shards and found residue from a fermented drink made of rice, honey, and hawthorn fruit.
How old are we talking?
About 9,000 years. It's one of the earliest confirmed alcoholic beverages on record, and it shows up right alongside some of the oldest pottery ever found in that region.
So, two completely different continents, no contact with each other, and they land on the same idea?
Different crops, same instinct, thousands of miles apart. And the pattern keeps repeating. Fast forward to Egypt and picture the workers who built the pyramids at Giza.
I always heard they were slaves.
They weren't. Records show they were paid laborers, and part of that pay was beer.
Beer? As an actual paycheck?
Up to 4 to 5 liters a day, according to ration records found near the site. That's not a treat at the end of a shift. That's a meal, a water source, and a wage, all in one cup.
5 liters a day, and they still managed to build the pyramids?
And over in Mesopotamia, they didn't just drink it, they wrote hymns to it. There's a Sumerian poem called the Hymn to Ninkasi, addressed to the goddess of beer, and buried inside the verses is a real working brewing recipe.
Wait, they hid a recipe inside a song?
Because writing was rare and precious back then. If you wanted instructions to survive for thousands of years, you turned them into something people would sing out loud, over and over, without ever needing to read it.
I genuinely don't know what to do with that image. An entire city humming a beer recipe.
Sit with it, because here's where the story bends. If people were sipping something mildly alcoholic from morning until night every day for their entire lives, they weren't getting drunk the way we picture drunk.
Wait, so it wasn't just constant chaos and stumbling around?
No, their bodies built up a steady, low-level tolerance. Historians describe entire populations existing in a near-permanent, gentle haze. Never sober, never blackout, just quietly buzzed for most of their waking lives.
That is honestly a little terrifying to picture. Whole societies running like that.
And yet, those same societies built pyramids, wrote the first law codes, invented writing itself. The haze didn't stop civilization from happening.
Then what did it do?
In some strange, uncomfortable way, it might have helped build it. The old version of this drink was small beer, weak, barely alcoholic, handed to children and laborers because it was simply safer than the water around it.
Please tell me we don't hand kids beer now.
We don't, because we solved the actual problem. Chlorine, filtration systems, modern plumbing, all of it quietly replaced what fermentation used to do.
So craft beer today is just for fun. No survival purpose left at all.
None. Same basic drink, completely different job. One version kept an entire civilization alive. The other one just pairs nicely with pizza on a Friday night.
That's a strange demotion for something that basically built the ancient world.
So the next time you fill a glass straight from the tap without a second thought, remember that for almost all of human history, that same simple act was a genuine gamble.
And they got around it with beer.
They got around it with beer, with hymns sung just to keep a recipe alive, with patience, and with a genetic accident 10 million years old that we still carry quietly in our blood today.
So...
We didn't just drink our way through history. In a lot of ways, we drank our way into it.